Alright. Very well. What happened? We are live streaming. Took a while to play 14 one. I didn't realize that at 9 I can park here. Amin is showing the experiment to some people right now. Oh, okay, great. Oh, you have your thing for the live view? Yeah. Great.
I'm really thinking now.
So we're live streaming from our laptop, and then you need to set up the mic.
2 seconds, I'll do that.
Yeah.
On it.
Okay. What happened here? What?
This
That
is
laptop's not working, so we're just using mine for the live stream. We can shut that laptop we're using mine.
okay, hold on. Okay. I think it's on.
Send a signal. Somebody logged in. Send a signal on me.
Go up, voltage up. Someone send a signal. Is it connected? Okay, looks like things are okay. But let me somebody logged in. Could you log in and then send it to I'm going to give policy. Hold on. Are you logged in? What is the time right now? 26, 21st, 21st. Oh, maybe the 21st.
Why can't you sign up? Can you sign up somewhere else? Maybe sign up. Huh? Why can't you sign up? This one, right? Are you looking for else? Just make it understand. Okay, very good. Should I go all the way up? Yeah. Go to like 200 and then 1.5 minutes. Let me borrow this. We'll have to unregister for a second. Huh? Or unregister you. Okay. But actually, you need to unregister. Okay, well, last one we can see too. Yeah. Okay, unregister. Okay, done. What do you want? A lot of this should not sleep, so I think we need good hair. What do you want? Billy wants this so he can debug them with it. What's wrong with it? It's perfectly fine. How's it going? Billy. Let me share screen here. Okay, so sign in with Google. I give it my qwertyuiop, and then I'm scheduling E over N, and it does this. Is it that like when time slots are not shown on this web page, I can still be registered for ones that are in the past? Yeah. And of course, I can't unregister for it from this page because it's not visible here. Yeah.
Actually, that's not exactly the issue. You're shockingly close to this. So box, I guess, for that.
Ouch, Billy, is that a low blow?
No, I'm legitimately, that's impressive. Eric, I'm going to do something I want you to play sometime. So, try to sign up now.
I will go to May 21st at noon, and I'm able to sign up. And if I go to the experiment,
Good catch.
who's moving it? Right.
It's a great catch there. Like, do you want me to switch this like to say location was? It's not more than
Yeah,
Yeah, please.
Well, let me sign out first so we can all ping at me. Okay, great. So go ahead and screen share.
So, me just be good to go. I can do that. So, that enables me to
Go for it.
okay. So, me sign up. But, share my screen. You see the fire response?
It's loading. 1 second. I can see your mouse moving on a black screen.
That's mine.
Amin has control of the experiment now, though.
Whatever. It's not super important. It was just on the console, I store both on the user's end of things and on this time slot end of things.
Mhm.
And the problem is deleting time slot, so deleting that fact.
Exactly. Delightful. So I guessed very close. Good.
We're nearly identical. Anyway, sounds like it needs good to go.
Yeah.
I'll go to it.
Great. Great. I'm gonna go sit in the other room so I'm not talking during these meetings. All right. See you. I'm gonna just asleep.
I did say never.
Great.
On all.
Great. And my personal laptop always has never sleep when it's plugged in, so.
Mine is good.
be some contractor, you're still looking at.
Why the curve is so low?
The cramp's not supposed to go above like 2 inches.
I have to write, I couldn't do it last night, so I have to write this proposal with my. I have to do this, and I have to do it next week. Like, start this now.
That's something you have to.
If the link shot, people. That's pretty fun. No.
think it's still okay, I guess. Well, even if it's down, most is on the down.
Beautiful, yeah.
Looks really good.
He did a wonderful job. And the beauty of it is you have to get it across the board.
Yeah, the idea that a student could be sitting in China right now controlling this.
And then we can do also for it.
Right, like we can take the same instrumentation that we can do immediately. I could do standing waves today.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? If someone gives me the $18 an hour to work for the time, I could go. assays and equipment and, testing and basic stuff.
He doesn't go to sleep, that's it.
No. IGTV videos, that's what we're doing while we waited.
His baby videos, his baby's videos.
His baby's videos. She's doing something that she's talking and sending like, I wonder why.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, she's the kind, she wakes up like this and she can support her on bed and cry. At 2 months. So I mean, why do you have it all at 5?
It's
What?
down, 2:45.
So why don't you go down?
I will go down. I'll go back to it. This 2:45 is fine.
Yeah, so see it's running, so I said that if you change it to never sleep, then it's perfectly fine. I will show you this in as well. Look at this. Yesterday, oh, I need to make your
These
flow
people,
chart.
yeah,
I need to make your
please,
flow
right
chart.
now, because that's the only thing that's remaining yesterday. Again, different things that we can do. I gotta go back.
So we can do the sound experiment. We can do, so we need the mic and a speaker, and we can do the sound interference because the sound is gonna come in, and we can you could hear it, and students can have a real life
I
experience.
understand. I have a problem here.
Yeah.
So my problem is either I have to be able to pay you guys or buy equipment.
So it depends on expensive. It's just motors. So you have $400, you can buy all the equipment you need.
Okay, but just $400 is still $400 for Eric. Okay, let me hook him up with Win to see if I can.
Wayne emailed me this morning to set up a Zoom meeting.
Okay, so please do it as soon as you can.
I emailed him back saying I can meet anytime. When's good for you.
Great. I don't want anything fancy, but do something quick that I can show you.
Yeah, it's gonna be like this. But I have the slides already on the website. Why don't you do those?
No, this is much. I only have 6 slides.
Oh, okay.
This is much better the way that he's doing it. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna be in touch with you. I'm glad that, Billy fixed it. What's that? I don't know what the problem was. What was the problem?
The problem was if you're logged into one time slot in the past, then you can't log into a second time slot, right? Because we don't want people to be trying to do 2 experiments at once. When he deleted old time slots, so that way you couldn't edit whether you were logged in, he didn't delete that you were logged into the old time slot.
Okay.
So he was like double.
So you're
counting
still
you
logged in the past, but you could not
unregister from that time slot and
Got it. So if I go and I have to unregister for
the old one and then logging the
log into the one.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta do that. Okay. Cross your fingers.
get the money, I mean, please.
I will.
I have a baby to feed.
Okay.
dude, you know, I told you, did I tell you this? So there's a Seraphim, you know who Seraphim is? One second. Okay, finish this and I'll tell you the next part of the story. And you tell me what to do. I want to see your feedback. You appreciate the fact that I have to take advice from everybody, including you. You guys know who's going to give you the best advice. You know what I'm saying? I know that I need to finish making this in the next 10 minutes. Don't take one of these home right now, not that. Have you seen the new TikTok? This is what is happening, right? Machine database, or is that? That's the database that we're parsing with the LabVIEW. They're all on the LabVIEW logo. Have you seen the new TikTok trend of dancing? I'm sorry. What is this one? I want the easiest to understand one of these. This is. They don't know what that is. This has to be spelled out for them. What? The person he's talking to is an experimental physicist. He definitely knows. You don't know. Yeah, I do. The person he's talking to is Analytis. Analytis is a rather influential experimental physicist. He's the department chair, James Analytis. But who was the other guy before? He was just showing other people on the instruction staff. No. No. Oh yeah, this is the guy, right? Look at that. Then who is this person? Who is what person? Who's Wicks? Wick Axton was the department chair until last summer. Well, he retired? He didn't retire. He just, the department chair is only the department chair for like 3 years. And then they re-elect a new person. Oh, so this guy is a replacement of Wicks? Yes. Wick Axton used to be the chair, and then now is no longer the chair. Been waiting for you. There's the work, though. There's nothing. There's the work. So why is that not being uploaded? Let me try to see if I can get that. Oh. It's nice views there. Yeah, it looks fine. You can see. So we built an actual fundamental system that could be replicated across the board to do whatever we want. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And Billy could just change the names and links, and this could be replicated across the board. But so many issues, we have to get these stupid computers and live stream set up. So we may end up lagging in the middle. We could create a process where we could use the TXT shields and all that good stuff, but that would take some time, but I mean, it's not that it's not doable, it's just time consuming. You see how I made this beautiful, the lab next door? What is it called? The studio? If you allow me here, I could make this thing look so beautiful and functional. But I can't install anything. I can't install it. I don't have Did I say you want a pedal? Okay. 1 second. I mean, that's why I got these slides. I just sent it to him. Kid. Come on. A child doll. So you see, I have a counter here as well that counts how many steps that we move. But we need to do it in each direction and subtract it so that we can do it. Control. You can update that. Yeah. Let me double check that the live streams still look good. Your Berkeley.edu is just W Khalid. Huh? This is your, yeah, great. What? Did you put it in the Google Drive? I just shared it with everyone. But why don't you put it in the folder? Because I'm just trying to jam it out real quick, man. I'll put it in the folder. Yeah, bro. I'll put it in the folder in a second. That's what we should be done by 2:10. Right? I've been waiting for the moment. I was joking that you and I will step into the other room so we don't talk during the presentation. And then Amy was like, I muted the mic, so you're fine. Do you have cards or keyboards? Yeah. I want to look at it. Just see which ones we have. I haven't even looked at it. So. Just wanted to see what's in there. There's none in there. You like it? Yeah. Looks really good. Right. I'll wait in there and read adjournments. So,
Again,
every day, I just go in there and just put things out.
as we did in supplement.
Just want to see if the one in this is easy to see.
No, we don't see the thing in the back.
So you need this gap for the light?
I don't know. So open up.
Another hour? Sure, I'll stay here for another hour, okay? So the University of Georgia tries to. I'm a fan of the University of Georgia football team, right? And well, they posted their GPAs for the athletes that have good GPAs to like say like, good job guys, good work in the classroom this semester. You know? So apparently I have a higher GPA than literally every single person on the football team.
Well, I mean, everybody should have a higher GPA than everybody on football.
Well, yes, but that means that I'm in like the hardest major. And I have a higher GPA in the hardest major than the athletes who get free tutoring. So it's fun to fiddle with this thing, even though I'm right next to it, you know? Like I'm trying to not be logged down all the time, so that way
What do you mean?
because I don't want to like take away.
What do you mean? You're sending an email to Jennifer Peter and telling her what you have built and she should collaborate with you. How do you explain the technology in 1 word or in a short Google spec?
Well, you're gonna explain it to me right now.
We built an individually electrically addressable nanostructure array that can be covalently chemically functionalized with various probe molecules that detect multiple analytes simultaneously in a solution using electrochemical impedance spectroscopy.
I mean, she has a PhD in biochemistry and won the Nobel Prize. I think you can talk to her like she knows biochemistry.
So do you think that's good enough?
I think a professional scientist talking to a professional scientist can use science words.
No, but do you think that will be maybe like these slides is long for her? Sure.
So why do you want to collaborate with her? Like,
It's a 5-year, $5.5 million NIH grant. We want to add CRISPR on the nanotubes so that we could then enhance the sensitivity and selectivity of our devices, of our measurements. This is really an overkill, and putting the name on the proposal will probably do the gas to get accepted.
Yeah, but like, what's in it for her? Like, it's interesting science, but like, so there's no shortage of interesting science that she can do. She can do whatever the hell she wants.
Yeah, but I have a technology back from years past, and if she combines with me, we could potentially use something. I don't know if you know what something called Cardano or something. It's a graphene-based gene chip that's being made. for Berkeley that it's graphene and then he attaches a crystal marker on it and they use PFP's different transistors to be biomolecular detection. So it's like that, but we have like yes. So your few blue light, sunshine, yellow light. This is what I'm talking about. They make this lady right here. And what they do is they created this graphene-based transistor in a solution, and then they functioned it with gas line with this current, and then essentially they can do detection. And then, so what we are doing is a little bit more advanced. Oh, I want to talk to you about the other option. Which was, which is, so, this is what I'm trying to get. Look up this guy, Sorofin. So Sorofin. He's Philip Sorofin. And his father, his dad is Fayez Sarafin. Yes, sir. An Egyptian man. He owns or partly owns the Houston football team. Mm-hmm. And he was one of the first investors in Intel. They're a Princeton guy, I think. According to this, Fayez, the dad went to Berkeley undergrad and Harvard Business School. Harvard, sorry, yes. And he's a Berkeley guy, yes. So they got to know my technology. And they want to now, and so I think this deal with the other folks, right? Mm-hmm. These guys are like a class. We like the technology. They want to invest in this company that is giving you the money as well. One. And there's another company in SoCal called Ostendo that are making these glasses that are for virtual reality or augmented reality. So you put them on, they're Google glasses, but like they got this part. That company also wants to license my technology for display and energy storage. But they've raised $200 million thus far, and they're worth $1.4 million. $1.4 billion right now. So now, the idea is this. These people are telling me this. Listen, Akash, we want to invest in your holding company, the IP holding company. Mm-hmm. And we can build you a lab in Berkeley. They were willing to invest $40-50 million if you need to. But, so I've made slides, sent them to them. Mm-hmm. Now the question that I have is this. Would we take their money, because they want to do an equity-based policy investment, and right now they're putting the valuation of the company very low compared to what it could be. And then the question is, but these people can open doors for you. They know everybody that's on Intel, blah, blah, all big dogs, like, you know. They're called true scale ventures, the guy runs it, right? And they have another arm called Unicorn Ventures out of LA. Now the question is, should I engage with these people at this phase? Because this is the structure that you want to set up. You're going to set up IP holding company. You're going to put all of my patents. This IP holding company will license the technology to one for the $5.5 million. And to other biotech applications and all that good stuff, right? Now, these people want to invest in the holding company, and they will give me money to set up my lab facilities and build teams that we can then develop prototypes and sell it to different verticals and then go to different markets. Markets for the technology range from this kind of stuff to energy storage for cars, to energy storage for consumer electronics, to energy harvesting, to field emission-based devices for all sorts of scan electron microscopy, you name it, whatever. E-beam lithography, all sorts of gas sensing, air sensing, and all that great stuff, right? So now the question is, they said that they would value the company at $40 million right now. My thing is that if I'm getting a license deal for $5.5 million, why do I need to give up equity to get money from these people at this stage at a lower valuation? If they put a valuation of, let's say, $200 million to $500 million, I'll take money from them. If they want to give me $20 million at $500 million valuation, I'll take that money. But if they want to give me $40 million valuation and put like $2 million in the company, then I don't think that's a great deal. What do you think? Because I'm already getting a $5.5 million from this company without any equity dilution, and the numbers that he's talking in royalty are upwards of $400 million a year once we go to production. So why would I give equity up for this at this stage for the holding company when I can actually get everything done with the money that I'm already getting? So, well, the question is like, if you get so like you said that the company that is giving you these milestone payments, they give you an initial lump sum, then they give you incentives to reach various milestones.
And for that, they want exclusive licensing to all energy storage and transmission.
And it's like for transportation industry.
For transportation industry, but not, for example, domestic or industrial energy storage.
No, or for consumer electronics.
Or for consumer electronics. So my question on that basis then is like, how much do you think that vertical could be worth?
$400 million a year royalty only at 4% of the cost.
So they think that they can be making $10 billion a year, which seems, if you look at the size and growth of
EV market.
well, the EV market, but I'm thinking in particular things like the Electrify America network, and Tesla's supercharger network and so forth. That seems reasonable. The idea that it would make $10 billion in profit a year seems possible. Because you're saying that you could build a capacitor that could charge one of these 200 kilowatt hour cars
in minutes, and it will basically 4 kilowatt will give you 400 mile range.
Yeah. So then the question becomes, okay, at that level of energy density, do you think that that vertical, so you're worth 4% of it? Right? Because like your technology compared to another technology
is mind-boggling.
Well, it could. Well, let me put it this way. Any other possible technology, which hasn't been discovered yet, could be say 80% as good as yours.
Sure.
So, like, do you think that the marginal value that you provide compared to everyone else is $400 million?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Potentially, if the technology works out, if it's
there's a lot of
scalable.
ifs. So, yeah.
So the question is, would you rather give up some percentage of the equity for all markets to have a bigger amount of investment capital right away?
But they're not going to give you bigger. That's the problem. Bigger is the same amount, $5 million.
No, because if you sell them equity, you get $5 million up front, which helps you scale faster.
They will not. They will still give you. And then, okay, so this, I'll tell you the logistics behind it. I don't have to do any production for these things with this deal, and I don't have to enter. But Volkswagen put $400 million or $200 million, I think, in QuantumScape.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, GM has its own base of this what do we call the platform, the energy storage platform, of which Hummer is based on. So all I'm saying is that it's very difficult to calculate this market, and even with all the world, I'll have to do that. But this guy runs this show, and he knows all these movers and shakers of the big people, and it's his headache to do whatever he wants to do. I'll just get the money and call it a day. Do you see what I'm saying? So do you keep taking, and then the valuation of the company will skyrocket if I'm getting a $400 million revenue in the company, whereas right now I have not even a prototype ready. I mean, imagine if you're, and that's only one, okay, even if I sacrifice the transportation vertical, you still have consumer electronics, you still have home market, you still have grid market. There's a lot of money coming in from all the other sources.
So here's my question for you. So my mom, for example, is the target consumer for someone who wants to sell products like Tesla Power, home energy storage.
Yeah.
Right? Because she already has solar panels on her house.
Yeah.
So something like a Powerwall is a product that could be sold to her.
Yeah. So
something like Tesla Powerwall or LG's technology and so forth costs, depending on
$20,000.
Like say roughly $10,000 to install.
Yeah.
For $10,000, currently she gets, I think it's 5,000 kilowatt hours worth of energy storage in a home battery bank, which we did the math one time in an emergency would power our house for between 2.5 and 4 days.
Great job, guys.
Great. How did it go?
There's a slight delay, like 5 seconds.
In the video stream?
Yeah, no, in the you don't see it.
Yeah.
and the video stream.
Because when I sign up and do it here now, it is 2:35, so I sign up for 14. Sitting here, if I move current up, the delay is 50 milliseconds. But then the video stream latency is 5 or 10 seconds.
So this is what we have to, going forward, we have to tell students that, you have to wait. Any adjustments you make, you have to wait,
Yeah.
3 seconds.
What was analytics that you were presenting to?
I was presenting to the whole faculty.
Oh.
So there were like, 40 people.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So, and then analytics, the way he said it was very nice. He said that, he was wondering if anybody was interested in incorporating these into their teaching. So I would like to partner with the instructional support group to continue this work. So we'll see how it goes. There is a include NSF grant, and they pay like $2 million, and that's for basically underrepresented minorities. And that could be
Fantastic.
it would be a good thing. So, but it has to be, it should be at the university level.
Yeah. I think that it would be very interesting. Do you know what an NSF REU is?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that getting a 3-year funding grant via NSF REU, specifically looking at underrepresented minorities that exist in the Bay Area. So, for example, Black and Hispanic students are, and as well as women, are massively underrepresented in physics. I think that writing an NSF REU grant, because I think that a full-time student with supervision, because it would pay for costs and you to supervise people over the summer, and the characteristic size of those grants is between 1.5 and 4 million. So I think that would be, if there's no other funding source for this, funding that and being able to say, we want to hire people via NSF REU to have between 3 and 5 students a summer work on curriculum development projects, you'd be able to get education students and physics students and computer science students that way.
I don't get any money. Whatever money I bring in, I don't get a penny. So it's just for you and equipment and
Sure.
So that's all that it goes to, because I have a full-time job.
Of course.
So I'm just basically trying to
Of course.
give money to people that are interested.
I'm frankly shocked that UC Berkeley doesn't already have a physics REU. Our peer institutions, Harvard, UCSB, et cetera, Wisconsin, Madison, Michigan, all administer large summer internship programs for students outside of their institution. So of course we have things like SURF for students here. We have the Berkeley Lab summer undergraduate laboratory internship, but the fact that the department itself doesn't already have an REU when we're one of the largest departments in the US and we have a huge breadth of research activities is kind of surprising.
Yeah, I think that, it's just, because not everybody qualified to put together such grants. So somebody has to monitor it. If it's going to be at my level, I could do it. But if professor is doing full-time research, Dan McKenzie, you think that McKenzie?
No, Dan McKenzie.
No, seriously.
Yeah, no. Did I tell you about my thesis with him?
No.
So I sent him an email because the way the department does senior theses is it's completely different than a PhD thesis. The only person who decides if my thesis qualifies is Dan. That's it. That's the only thing that matters. So I sent him an email saying, I understand that a typical undergraduate thesis in physics would be between 25 and 40 pages long. I don't have that much to say. So I think that mine might be more like 15 or 18 pages, including figures, maybe it'll be 20. Is that fine? And I send him a table of contents with a description. He doesn't email me back for 3 days. Then during our group meeting, at the end of the group meeting, he tells me to stay on the call. And so everyone else, my postdocs, my grad students log off the call. And then I'm on the call with him and he goes, Eric, that looks great. If you want to do it that way, that's great. But frankly, if you can explain the essential result in 10 pages, I don't have to read 20 pages. So essentially my undergraduate thesis, a lot of things were done using, the cheapest available method.
Of course.
And just because I had to, come up to speed on computer vision and on analysis and on hardware and so there's a lot of development left to do to improve the measurement that I took. And there's a grad student, Jose, is actually taking over that project from me. Yeah. So Jose joined my library, and so he got 3 months to come up to speed on how the experiment works overall, and then he's going to take over my analysis. So my thesis was essentially written to be like, hey, Jose, here's the manual on how this works.
That's usually the case.
Yeah.
That's usually the case that, you hand off, whoever is working on a project, the person who joins and say, okay, read this, so that's what I had to do with my PhD thesis, basically hand it off to someone else.
Yeah.
So
So it's like, here's all of my expertise in writing, so that way, if you read the thesis and understand the chapters that are relevant to what you're working on. So it was super funny, because Jose read my thesis and was like, this is great. Because I included an appendix that was all of my code with comments about how each thing worked. And he was like, this is great. I understand everything. Wonderful, I can do it right now.
So, question, how long, right now with something happening there.
No, we're live streaming from my laptop.
Okay.
This computer wasn't working, so we're live streaming from my laptop.
Okay, so what's wrong with that computer? It just don't understand.
I don't understand either. When you try to start the live stream,
Can we use that computer in the background?
maybe we can try it.
And then use this computer to put the lab, if you could put the lab view on that computer.
Yeah, but I don't have access to.
Sure, I'm just saying that,
Yeah.
we should, that computer has a lab view. If you can figure out how to use that lab view,
Sure.
the links, connected, I just wanted to have this set up just in case,
Yeah.
exactly, just running, just in case someone else.
So there are two things about safety that I would want to implement before we leave it permanently running. We have that switching power supply, which can be controlled via the website. Adding that in would be very simple.
Okay.
Just so that way we can leave this turned off.
Yeah.
And then anyone who comes online can turn this
Oh,
on
we have
and a
control
lamp
for
so they can see it if it's dark in the room.
I have a control for that already, so I just have to have Billy connect.
Just
to the
wire
website,
it.
Yeah.
Right.
And
And
what
then,
do we do with the live stream?
and then the live streaming, we would need, I think we can permanently live stream on YouTube if the computer's never shut down. So a setup like this would work. I just don't know why the live stream didn't start. And I didn't have time to troubleshoot it before the meeting,
No problem.
but I can figure it out.
That's fine. So these are the two issues then we have, everything else works.
Yeah, so I just want to
actually integrate that camera in his web page as well. Remember he figured out how to do that?
Yes.
So we could, instead of doing live stream, just connect that camera to Billy's thing and we don't have to go to YouTube.
Correct, we could do that, but I don't know, but that's something that we can look into.
Yeah.
I gotta go to my next meeting, sorry guys.
So are we done?
We're pretty much done, we could just shut down and go, and then we can pick up. So we have to decide, how we're gonna do the next projects. You gotta talk to, I'm also talking to, right now, I'm gonna go talk to the donor for cigarette.
Oh,
So we're gonna basically get more money, as much as we can. But this is on my next meeting. So for this cigarette,
for Segre, what project is being upgraded this summer?
I don't know, it's up to when, but I'm just saying that, the projects that we have, because you have access right now.
Yeah.
You are a perfect candidate for it, so make sure that he understands that you have access, that you don't need to go through the access.
Yeah, I can
Just
start
tell them
working.
that-
I can start working on
I can
Monday.
start, exactly, you just say that, if you wanna have something, I can start as soon as Monday, and I can do something different than the rest of the cigarette, if there are gonna be any other cigarettes, but I have the time,
Yeah.
but I have limited time also that I have to work on this project, so
Yeah.
I can work it out with,
I checked my work study balance. I think my account, because you pay 25% or something, right?
yes.
I still have, I think it's $3,200 left on my side, which would probably not get me entirely through the summer,
I
but,
pay 50%.
oh, you pay 50%. Okay.
They changed it. yeah.
So I don't know how much is left on your side, but on my side, I have enough money that would probably last me through the summer at 25 hours a week or something.
Yeah, so it's between you and Wafa, so I have to make sure he has a kid, you don't, okay, so that's the difference.
Hey, but
We have
Wakas has
another
money.
source of income, which we could be,
Yeah.
this, segregate.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about you, I'm more worried about him, I gotta support him.
See, but I'm broke and Wakas drives the Porsche. broke, bro. I'm a poor rich man. I don't know. I'm a poor man with a rich lifestyle. I don't know.
Wakas, if you want to say you're broker than me, you have to understand Wakas.
I'm pretty damn broke.
I should like I have $50 in the bank. I have negative money in my bank account, so I win, Wakas.
Fine.
I win.
Okay.
I got
let me
negative
see what
$6.
So I was talking to a group of people in the college at the first meeting, the Skyline College, and wow, they were very interested.
Yeah.
They said that we could use it for ADA. We have so many ADA students that they cannot come to the lab. These type of experiments, they were going to be perfect.
Yeah. It's really to teach. Like in a typical semester of 5CL, a student does 6 labs, 8 labs.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could do all of them like in this 50 days.
Well, we already have 3 or 4 that we can set up right now, and then some of the solid state labs, like using
We already have
LEDs to
that
measure.
so you already have the circuit for that.
You know, we could do radioactivity lab.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have a Geiger counter in the linear stage.
Exactly. I mean, we could, it could be in 111 location
Yeah.
with the camera and run it remotely,
Yeah.
and we don't need even to move it from there.
Yeah.
My question
It's already staged.
the tricky thing is, just because I'm thinking about legal compliance, which radioactive source we use really will change whether or not we can safely do that experiment.
No, it's remote.
It's a very, I mean, it's
If we're
safe to use it in the lab, so it's safe.
Oh, like if we're using like a 1 microcurie beta
Yeah.
source or something. That's
Yeah,
totally fine.
our sources are in the order of micro, they don't get to millicube, might be 10 microcurie, that's it.
Sure.
Maximum.
And it's like a gamma or beta source. Or
Sure,
something.
and also you wear radiation training, so at the end of the semester, you get tested and everything, so yeah, everything. But if you do remotely, you don't need to worry about, what source.
Nothing makes me-
on the thing.
Nothing makes me feel more scared in the lab when I'm at LBL than when my postdoc is like, all right, everyone put on your oxygen meters and put on your radiation meters because we're doing some gas handling thing with a radioactive gas.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, if your canister explodes, it pushes all the oxygen out of the room and it's denser, so the oxygen can't flow back in. And then it's also radioactive and like, great. Nothing like handling everything that goes down. Do you know the official U.S. Navy policy is if you get tritium poisoning?
No.
So if you get tritium poisoning because you're working on a
And throw you
nuclear,
off the ship.
no. They send you to the on-base bar, and the best diuretic they've found to remove tritium from your blood is beer. So they just have you go and drink 12 beers a day every day for 6 weeks.
Wow.
So it just destroys your liver, but you're a Navy sailor anyways.
You can, in that case, you can drink.
Yeah, exactly. The doctor told you.
Exactly.
I'd be high all the time.
Yeah.
In that case, you
He
can drink.
goes to Navy, says, where do I find tritium?
Yeah. How did you get exposed?
So I mean, I guess people lay out the
Is it okay if I
plan
shut this all down now?
Yeah.
Okay.
of what experiments you need to set up, and then